SKOR.com.
I don't know what that feels like to play Seattle at home. Usually it's every year it's at Seattle Monday Night Football. So that'll be a little different, but I'm excited about it.
Man, 65,000 fans screaming for the home opener against the Seattle Seahawks.
He's so right. Adam Thielen on Vikings Entertainment Network. I think that was Gabe Henderson, who does a good job hosting for VEN. All right, boys. This is one of our favorite days every week. I mean, there's only 7 to choose from, but Reckless Speculation Thursday here on Mackey and Judd.
Reckless Speculation.
Yes.
Reckless Speculation.
Let's get it. Judd, what bobbleheads are you rocking for this Reckless Speculation Thursday? Sid Hartman?
Of course, Sid. Of course, Sid, because he's a staple. Janelle McCarville. Lynx home
Lady
opener tomorrow, Friday night.
Love it.
Against, I believe, the Mercury of Phoenix, if I am not mistaken.
It is
Love
Phoenix.
It.
In fact, I'm
Mercury.
bonding with Sylvia Fowles later this afternoon, a little one-on-one gathering, her and I via Zoom. Yeah, they get Phoenix, and then over the next week and a half, they get Seattle twice. So we'll learn a lot about the Lynx,
We
even
can't
though
get
they're
away from
not.
Seattle.
They don't have their full complement of players because some players are still stuck overseas, but I know this much in some conversations with Cheryl Reeve going back multiple months. I mean, she really feels like she has assembled a roster that can win a championship. So it should be a fun year.
Doogie, we're going to put you on the spot here. That's the voice and the face if you're watching on the SKOR North YouTube channel. Thanks for getting us over 5,000 subscribers on that channel this week. We're almost to 20,000 total subscribers across Purple Daily and SKOR North YouTube channel. So thanks to everyone for clicking the subscribe button. If you listen in audio form, we appreciate that. You can find everything we do at SKORNorth.com. But Darren Doogie Wolfson, the Scoop podcast on SKORNorth.com, and also an insider here, inside information about your favorite local sports teams as part of the 5 Eyewitness News crew over there. So Doogie, we all predicted the Vikings win-loss total last night on our Purple Daily live schedule release party. Now that you've seen the order of the opponents, what does your gut say for wins for the Vikings this year?
Double-digit wins. Is that 10? Is that 11? Maybe more realistically, it's 10-7. Not 11-6, but yeah, I think they can win double-digit games. I get it. They have those 2 cold weather games, early January, Lambeau Field, December, Soldier Field. Yet another game in Chicago that's under the lights.
Yep.
Like, they never play Chicago just in a conventional Sunday noon game. I mean, I know it's happened at least once in the last decade or so, but seemingly every year it's a night game in Chicago. I think it'll be tough to play Detroit on that Sunday, then Pittsburgh on that Thursday. Like, Campbell, the new coach of Detroit, seems like he's a maniac, and so he wants his guys to be uber physical. So presumably the Vikings, get beat up that Sunday. Then it's a quick turnaround to play the Steelers. That will be a physical game. But I look at the Steelers; they don't blow me away. Like, to me, the Steelers on a Thursday night at US Bank Stadium, that's a game the Vikings should win. So yeah, I think there's a path to double-digit victories. I do.
What in your mind, Dukes, what saves jobs? Like, what makes everybody secure? 11 wins, playoff, they win a playoff game. What do you think needs to be achieved by the GM and probably more importantly the coach, where we get done with 2021 and everybody takes a deep breath and says, see you in 2022?
Well, I mean, I think, circumstances can change really fast, right? Like, what if September 12th, opener in Cincinnati, Kirk Cousins, who's been Mr. Durable, goes down with a torn ACL, right? So, like, I know that's a cop-out, Judd. I get it, but, like, I need to see how the year plays out to some extent.
Let's say it plays out with for the most part, good health, including the
I think
QB.
both are back. I do. Yeah, I mean, now if they end up winning 7 and it's double-digit losses, yeah, we can revisit this conversation. I mean, I think, they're on the so-called hot seat. I'm not dismissing that notion, but if I had to predict right now, I think Zim and Spielman are back when we're having this conversation 1 year from now.
Yeah, you brought up that stretch after the bye. I mean, on paper, and a lot of things can change, and we'll dive into this on Purple Daily. Like, the second half of the schedule is always sort of a mixed bag of teams that failed to live up to expectations, and there's a team that pops up. But based on what we know right now, you've got the brutal 4 road games in 5 weeks, and then right after that stretch, you get a Thursday night game against Pittsburgh. And so I think they have to get off to a hot start, but you also have 2 road games to start the season. before you get the 3 straight home games. So if they get off to a hot start, like a 4-2, I think they can weather that storm, play some 500 football out of the bye, and then can they beat Chicago twice in a month? If Aaron Rodgers is or isn't playing, like that makes a huge difference in this equation too. So it's an interesting, fascinating order of opponents, Doogie. And I'm with you on the double-digit wins. We all had 11 wins yesterday when we went through game by game, and so we all have set a pretty, not an astronomically high bar, but like go win 11 games and make some noise in the playoffs. Our slogan for this year's Vikings team, Doogie, is no excuses. No excuses. You spent a lot of money on defense. You drafted a couple potentially starting offensive linemen. Kirk Cousins is in his prime, had a great 9-game stretch at the end of the season last year. No excuses. Go get it.
I'm with you. Let's not forget they had a losing record at home last year. Presumably, right, with that home field advantage, that should change. Heck, if you're going to play Cincinnati like the Vikings are, give me Joe Burrow week 1 coming off the ACL, right? Not week 10.
Yes.
So I think, from a luck standpoint, they lucked out in that regard. I'm not a big fan of 3 consecutive home games.
Agreed.
They don't play 3 consecutive road games at all. They do have those 3 consecutive home games relatively early in the schedule. So you're right, Phil, right? Like start 4-2. The way the schedule sets up, and I get it, the home game against Cleveland will not be easy. The home game against Seattle will not be easy. Week 2 at Arizona certainly will not be easy. But with those 3 consecutive home games, there certainly is an opportunity to get out to the sort of start that you laid out.
To Phil's point, too, what makes this so intriguing right now to me is one thing, and it has nothing technically to do with the Vikings. It's Green Bay. Like, if you think about this, if Rodgers is going to come back, then it's very hard to dismiss the Packers. And they probably, with the past 2 years, Dukes need to be considered the favorite in the division.
Absolutely.
If he comes back,
if he comes back, for sure.
But if he doesn't come back, all hell breaks loose, and you don't go from Rodgers to a veteran. You go to Jordan Love, and I mean,
what do you mean, Blake Bortles?
Yeah, but I mean, Zim is going to be licking his chops there. And here's the last thing: if Rodgers doesn't come back right now, in my opinion, Kirk Cousins easily has to be the best quarterback in the division. Jared Goff is coming off a disappointing year. I have no idea with Man Campbell as his coach if Goff is going to be good, right? Chicago might be okay eventually, but it's probably Dalton week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me Cousins again, hopefully, right? And Jordan Love possibly? So like this, the pendulum swing here, if Rodgers doesn't play, is Vikings, and then I think maybe Bears.
Agree. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Where are we at right now exactly on Rodgers? Like, I firmly believe he's playing. He's not sitting out. He's not pursuing the full-time Jeopardy gig. So, like, how does this play out? Like, I thought 2 weeks ago it was inevitable that a trade eventually does happen. So I guess over a 2-week period, I shouldn't necessarily, waffle on that take.
Yeah.
But there are others, John Kuhn, some other former Packers that are still close to Aaron that think, hey, maybe it won't be holding hands singing Kumbaya, but at some point, Aaron is going to report back to Green Bay that he'll play for the Packers this year.
I mean, do they? The Packers do have leverage in that. I don't think they have as much leverage as some people think, because I legitimately think Aaron Rodgers would sit out a full season.
See, I don't.
And make Jeopardy money before he would play for the Packers again. I think he's that vindictive.
I mean, it reminds me, what year was it with AP?
If he's willing
where
to,
the Vikings
then they don't
said,
have leverage.
we're not trading you. Judd, was that 15 or 14?
When he was suspended or what?
Well, when he wanted out, the Vikings wouldn't trade him. Zim
14.
went down to Houston at one point.
14, I believe.
And I think Rick went too.
Yeah, they both did, yeah.
So, I mean, sort of a comparable situation. Where the Vikings said, we're not moving you.
But AP is vindictive in AP's own way, but Aaron might be an all-timer. I mean, this man literally, instructive, did cut his family out.
AP was also struggling financially behind the scenes more than people probably knew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Aaron's financial status is, but it doesn't. I mean, there's never been any reports of lavish birthday parties with 4 golden camels, so I don't know that he's like.
Which is a shame. Like, how do you not have that? I had that. I was riding around on a camel at my 50th. Man. It was great. I told Dawn, get the camel.
Aaron also doesn't have kids. I mean, just saying. Like, I think he's in a good spot financially where, and if he's that vindictive, but like, if if the Packers want to look at the things that they have leverage on, right? They wouldn't do this until after June 1st anyways because of the cap hit. They have to wait till after June. Now, you could
Well, they
agree
do. I mean,
to a
you could
trade
agree
now.
to it right now. They could agree to a trade right now and just wait until June 2nd.
But I think if you wait like 3 more weeks on this, and the Broncos start to get antsy, like, okay, all right, we're already through like a bunch of virtual meetings in the offseason. We need to if we're going to do this, we need to get our guy in here. Ideally sooner. Now, Brett Favre came in like 2 preseason games in, and it worked. So maybe I'm wrong on that. But I think the Packers' leverage is waiting for a few more weeks, and we'll see what happens.
I'm with Judd, though. I mean, heck, everything is sitting there for the Vikings to be the kings of the North once again, right? And it's weird, but there's something to be said about these odd number years with Zim, 15, 17, 19, now 21, that a pissed-off Zim coming off a non-playoff year is an uber-motivated Zim, that now that he has his horses back on defense, that defense should be upper half of the league, if not, top 7, top 8-ish, that they should find a way to win. I mean, maybe you guys are more right than I am, that it's more like 11 wins, maybe 12, not 10. But I do think there's a path to double-digit victories. And if there is, they're a playoff team, and everybody's back in 2022.
You guys want to transition into some Wolves here? I know Doogie's got a bunch of Wolves nuggets.
Yeah, we can get to Wolves in a second. Let's not forget, though, the Vikings roster is still, to some extent, incomplete. They've kicked the tires on wide receiver D.D. Westbrook. They've kicked the tires on pass rusher Ryan Kerrigan. If it's not Kerrigan, maybe it's a different pass rusher. If you look at the remaining free agents, pass rusher is about the deepest position right now. Everson Griffin is still out there. Not that I see a path where Griff is back here, but you've got Melvin Ingram.
He sort of ripped Kirk.
Yeah, it's sort of ripped Kirk.
I mean, he was.
Well, not sort of. Yeah,
He eviscerated Kirk.
He was upfront about it. Okay, sort of. But he did apologize.
I think at one point he literally tweeted "Kirk is ass," didn't he?
Yeah. But then
Everson Griffin Unplugged
apologized.
is as entertaining as it gets, and I know that mentally he's in a better spot now than he was a couple of years ago. So I can certainly enjoy when he goes on some of those Twitter rampages. But yeah, point is, whether it's Griff, Melvin Ingram, Kerrigan, there's a bunch of pass rushers available. Plus, they have kicked the tires also on an interior defensive lineman, Geno Atkins. So I think they add to the defensive line at some point. And I can see them, whether it's D.D. Westbrook or some other receiver. I know Larry Fitzgerald Jr. is a popular name. I can see them bringing in a vet receiver at some point.
Ooh, I love the Larry idea. I think he might be cooked, but it would
It'd
be
be
I love the
fun,
idea
though.
of him helping out in the room, but I'm not quite sure the room needs all that much help. Like, I don't know if there's much of a fit on the field. Would they be forced to give him a target or two a game? Heck, are you forced to dress him
I'd give him
every
a target
Sunday?
I'd give him a target or two a game. Like, if that's the requirement, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I like the idea of Westbrook more. Now, he's coming off the ACL, but maybe he can stretch the field a little bit.
Yeah,
in an
you know what,
emergency, in
Wes-
a pinch, he can help you on special teams.
My problem there is the Vikings always sign this guy. They always sign the Westbrooks. Hey, it's a late signing. He's going to make a contribution by week 6. Healthy, inactive.
well, yeah, I
Tajay
mean, it's
Sharp,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tajay Sharp.
Tajay
Yeah,
Sharp.
I mean,
Yeah, but I mean,
that's the prime example.
We've had so many of those guys, and it drives me crazy because every time they're like, "Oh, this guy's going to fit in perfect." Yeah, we're going to cut him.
Yeah. Well, if I could translate what Doogie just said, it sounds like the Vikings are looking for some insurance along their defensive line. And if you're a business owner looking for insurance, looking for risk management, protection, peace of mind, Federated Insurance is the company you should partner with. So they've been around for over 100 years. They are one of us, based in Owatonna, and you can find out more information about the industries Federated protects, and you can find contact info to just talk to a fellow human who can help your business at federatedinsurance.com. And that's where you can also find out about MyShield, the online client destination for risk management resources. Federated, it's our business to protect yours.